Before you take another step today, pause for a moment and listen to your body. Are your feet colder than they should be, even inside your socks? Do your hands feel stiff or numb when you wake up? Do your legs feel heavy, swollen, or unusually tired after simple activities like walking across the room or climbing a single flight of stairs? These are not minor annoyances, and they are not signs that you are simply getting older. They are early whispers of a deeper circulatory problem that grows slowly, quietly, and almost invisibly over time. Most seniors ignore these signals because they seem small or harmless, but these symptoms are not random. They are your body warning you that blood flow is no longer reaching your hands, your feet, and your lower legs the way it used to. People over 60 commonly experience cold hands and feet, tingling sensations, ankle swelling, heaviness in the legs, and unexpected fatigue during everyday activities. Many assume these symptoms are just part of normal aging, but they are not. They are the earliest and most reliable signs of declining circulation, a process that begins years before it becomes noticeable. What looks like stiffness or fatigue is often reduced oxygen reaching your muscles. What feels like swelling or heaviness is often blood pooling because vessels are not expanding the way they should. This silent decline happens gradually. Your vessels do not fail overnight. Instead, they lose flexibility inch by inch. The inner lining of your arteries becomes irritated, inflamed, and thickened over time. Blood flow becomes slower and less efficient. Your heart must work harder just to maintain the same circulation you once had effortlessly in your 40s. That is why your feet feel colder now. That is why your ankles leave deep sock marks. That is why your legs feel heavy at the end of the day. These are not coincidences, and they are not simple aging. They are signs that your blood is not moving with the same strength, speed, or warmth it once did. And here is the most important truth. Declining circulation is not inevitable. It does not have to continue getting worse. Once you recognize these early warnings for what they truly are, you can begin to reverse the process. You can warm your hands and feet again. You can reduce swelling. You can restore energy to your legs. You can improve circulation naturally, starting with the foods and habits that reopen your vessels and bring oxygen-rich blood back to your extremities. Most seniors cannot identify the exact moment their circulation began to decline. It does not happen with a dramatic shift or a sudden collapse. It happens slowly, almost invisibly, like a dimmer switch, fading the lights 1 degree at a time. By the time the symptoms appear, cold feet, numb toes, ankle swelling, heavy legs, the problem has already been developing quietly beneath the surface for years. To understand why these early signs show up, we have to look at what actually changes inside the body after age 60. The first major change occurs in the inner lining of your blood vessels, a thin and delicate surface called the endothelium. When you were younger, the endothelium was smooth, flexible, and highly responsive. It allowed blood to glide through your vessels easily, adjusting the vessel width based on your activity and oxygen needs. But decades of subtle irritation from processed foods, hidden sugars, chronic stress, dehydration, and long hours of sitting begin to wear down this surface. The endothelium becomes inflamed and thickened. Instead of acting like a polished slide, it begins to resemble rough sandpaper. Blood can no longer move effortlessly. It has to push. Even the smallest amount of narrowing has a dramatic effect on circulation. When arteries lose just a little bit of diameter, blood flow to the hands, feet, and lower legs decreases significantly. This is why cold extremities and slow healing appear long before any doctor mentions blood pressure or vascular concerns. The decline has already started. The second major change involves nitric oxide, a natural molecule your body produces to relax and widen blood vessels. In your younger years, nitric oxide production was constant and efficient. It helped your vessels open easily, allowing warm, oxygen-rich blood to flow to every part of your body. But after 60, the enzymes responsible for producing nitric oxide become less active. Your vessels do not receive the same signals to relax. They remain slightly constricted, even when your body needs more oxygen. This subtle tightening is what causes heavy legs when you stand too long. It is what makes your feet cold in warm rooms. It is why climbing stairs suddenly feels harder. Your vessels simply cannot expand the way they used to. There is also the issue of blood thickness. As you age, your blood becomes more viscous. Red blood cells become less flexible. Platelets become stickier. This thicker blood struggles to move through narrow capillaries, especially in your hands and feet. The result is numbness, tingling, and nighttime cramps. The combination of endothelial damage, reduced nitric oxide, and thicker blood forms a perfect storm for circulation decline. But here is the hopeful truth. Every one of these changes can be improved. Your vessels can soften again. Your nitric oxide levels can rise. Your blood can glide instead of drag. And the foods you eat are the key to turning this system back on. When people think about restoring healthy blood flow, they often imagine complicated routines, expensive supplements, or medical procedures. But the truth is far simpler. Some of the most powerful circulation enhancers come from the everyday foods and spices that have been in kitchens for generations. The first two in this system, cayenne pepper and garlic, work by directly improving the mechanical behavior of your blood and blood vessels. They do not mask symptoms. They help your circulation function the way it was meant to. Let us begin with cayenne pepper, one of the most misunderstood natural remedies on earth. Most people know cayenne only for its heat, but hidden inside that fiery flavor is a compound called capsaicin. This molecule acts like a messenger inside your body. When capsaicin enters your bloodstream, it communicates directly with the smooth muscles in your vessel walls, signaling them to relax and widen. This widening effect is not subtle. It is immediate, measurable, and deeply relieving for anyone struggling with poor circulation. Imagine a crowded highway suddenly gaining an extra lane. Traffic that once crawled now moves smoothly. This is exactly what cayenne does inside your arteries. When your vessels widen, more warm, oxygen-rich blood can reach the coldest and most distant parts of your body. Many people describe feeling a gentle spreading warmth in their chest, hands, or feet minutes after consuming cayenne. That warmth is blood flow returning, but cayenne does more than open pathways. It also affects the blood itself. As we age, blood becomes thicker and more resistant to flow. Red blood cells stiffen. Platelets stick together. Capsaicin helps reduce this thickness, allowing blood to move with less resistance. For someone dealing with cold feet, numb toes, or constant heaviness in the legs, this shift can be life-changing. I once worked with a woman named Linda who lived for years with numb, icy toes. She tried warm socks, heating pads, and thick slippers, but nothing helped. After adding a small pinch of cayenne to her morning routine, she noticed warmth in her feet within days. No medication, no expensive treatment, just better blood flow. Now let us turn to garlic, the second food in this circulation-activating pair. Garlic works differently than cayenne. While cayenne widens vessels, garlic improves the quality of the blood itself. The star compound in garlic is allicin, a sulfur-rich molecule produced when garlic is chopped or crushed. Allicin reduces platelet stickiness, helping your blood glide rather than clump. It also supports vessel flexibility by reducing inflammation inside the vessel lining. This is especially important for seniors because stiff vessels cannot expand easily and restrict circulation to the extremities. Garlic also supports healthy blood pressure, easing the strain on your heart. When blood moves more freely, your heart does not need to push as hard to deliver oxygen throughout your body. Together, cayenne and garlic form the first activation phase in restoring circulation. One widens the roads, the other improves the traffic. And once these pathways open, your body becomes ready for the deeper healing foods that come next. If cayenne and garlic act as the ignition switch that wakes up a sluggish circulatory system, then ginger and turmeric function as the repair crew. They do not simply help blood move more easily. They help restore and rebuild the blood vessels themselves, targeting the inflammation and microscopic damage that accumulate over decades. Most seniors never realize how much of their circulation trouble comes not from the blood itself, but from the condition of the vessel walls guiding it. Let us start with ginger, a root used for centuries in traditional medicine and now validated repeatedly by modern science. Ginger contains two powerful compounds, gingerol and shogal. These compounds interact with the inflammatory pathways inside your blood vessels, lowering the internal irritation that stiffens the vessel walls with age. Think of your blood vessels as flexible tubes. When you were younger, these tubes expanded and contracted smoothly, matching your movement and oxygen needs. But over time, processed foods, chronic stress, sedentary habits, and low-grade inflammation irritate the inner lining. The vessel walls swell, harden, and become rigid. They behave like old rubber hoses left in the sun, losing their bounce and flexibility. Ginger reduces that internal swelling. It does not force your vessels to relax. Instead, it removes the irritants that prevent relaxation in the first place. As the swelling decreases, flexibility returns. Blood moves with less resistance. Oxygen reaches deeper into muscles and nerves. And those sharp nighttime leg cramps that so many older adults experience begin to fade as the vessels soften. One of my patients, a woman named Marjorie, lived for years with painful nighttime calf spasms. She assumed it was dehydration or simple aging. But after adding fresh ginger tea to her evening routine, the spasms stopped waking her. She described the sensation as if her legs had finally unclenched after years of tension. That is what improved vessel flexibility feels like. If ginger is the calming force, turmeric is the deep repair. Turmeric contains curcumin, one of the most heavily studied natural compounds for vascular health. Curcumin directly supports healing of the endothelium, the thin, intelligent lining that senses blood flow and adjusts vessel width accordingly. When the endothelium is damaged, your vessels stop responding properly. They remain too narrow, even when your body needs more oxygen. Curcumin helps restore this internal sensing system. It protects the endothelial cells from further injury and encourages regeneration. This is crucial because endothelial malfunction is one of the leading causes of circulation decline in seniors. Curcumin also enhances nitric oxide activity. Nitric oxide is the master molecule your body uses to signal vessel relaxation. Many seniors produce far less of it than they need. Turmeric helps the nitric oxide you still produce work longer and more effectively, creating smoother, more consistent blood flow. Ginger reduces the inflammation that stiffens vessels. Turmeric repairs the lining that controls expansion. Together, they create a vessel environment that is supple, responsive, and capable of delivering steady circulation throughout the day. This restoration sets the stage for the next foods in the system, which strengthen the smallest vessels in your body, the capillaries that deliver oxygen to your nerves, skin, and deepest tissues. When most people think about circulation, they picture the large arteries that carry blood away from the heart. But the real story of blood flow happens in the smallest vessels of all your capillaries. These tiny channels are so narrow that red blood cells must pass through in single file. They deliver oxygen to your skin, nerves, muscles, and every inch of your body. When these delicate pathways weaken, leak, or collapse, circulation suffers long before major symptoms appear. Two surprising foods play a powerful role in protecting and strengthening these microscopic vessels: citrus fruits and high flavanol dark chocolate. While cayenne widens the vessels and ginger and turmeric repair them, citrus and dark chocolate focus on giving your capillaries the structural support and flexibility they need to function properly. Let us begin with citrus fruits. Most people associate citrus with vitamin C, but the true star for circulation is their flavonoids. These natural plant compounds strengthen the fragile walls of your capillaries, preventing them from leaking fluid into surrounding tissues. When capillaries leak, your legs feel heavy, your ankles swell, and your lower limbs develop that tight, fatigued feeling. The flavonoids in citrus, especially hesperidin in oranges and naringin in grapefruit, act like scaffolding for your vessel walls. They reinforce elasticity and improve resilience, helping the capillaries stay firm enough to withstand pressure, yet flexible enough to respond to movement and temperature changes. Citrus fruits also help reduce oxidative stress inside your vessels. Free radicals attack the collagen fibers that give capillary walls their structure. Citrus antioxidants neutralize these free radicals, protecting the integrity of the vessels so blood can travel smoothly. Many seniors who begin eating whole citrus daily report noticeable improvements: lighter legs, reduced swelling after sitting, warmer toes, and fewer red or purple spots on their skin. These are all signs that capillary strength is improving. Now let us turn to dark chocolate. Real dark chocolate, not the sugary milk chocolate found in candy aisles, contains high levels of cacao flavanols, powerful compounds that stimulate nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide signals your vessels to relax and widen, allowing blood to flow more freely. Think of citrus as reinforcing the walls of your circulation network, while dark chocolate opens the doors so more blood can pass through. This combination is especially helpful for seniors struggling with cold hands and feet. When vessels remain narrow due to stiffness or reduced nitric oxide, blood has difficulty reaching the extremities. Dark chocolate improves that flexibility, restoring warmth and sensation. Dark chocolate also reduces arterial stiffness, one of the earliest indicators of cardiovascular aging. Flexible arteries are not just good for circulation. They reduce pressure on the heart and improve oxygen delivery to the brain, helping maintain clarity, focus, and energy throughout the day. There is a reason citrus and dark chocolate appear together in this system. Citrus strengthens your capillaries from the inside. Dark chocolate enhances vessel relaxation. One fortifies, the other liberates. Together, they help restore a smooth, steady flow of oxygen, rich blood to the tissues that need it most. This prepares your body for the next phase, improving the quality of your blood so it can travel with ease through every vessel in your system. As your vessels regain flexibility and your capillaries grow stronger, there is another crucial factor that determines how well your circulation works: the quality of your blood. Even the widest, healthiest blood vessel cannot deliver oxygen efficiently if the blood moving through it is thick, sluggish, or resistant. This is where the next two foods come in. Fatty fish and beets work directly on the blood itself, transforming it into a smoother, more efficient carrier of oxygen and nutrients. Let us begin with fatty fish, such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3 seconds play a remarkable role in circulation. To understand their effect, imagine your bloodstream as a river. When the river is clear and free-flowing, it nourishes everything along its path. But when the river is thick with debris, movement slows, and certain areas receive only a fraction of the water they need. Aging blood behaves the same way. It becomes thicker, stickier, and more difficult to push through your vessels. Omega-3 seconds naturally thin this river. They reduce platelet clumping and help red blood cells stay flexible instead of rigid. This allows blood to glide more smoothly through even the smallest capillaries. For many seniors, this leads to warmer toes, fewer numb patches, and less of that heavy, dragging feeling in the legs. Now let us turn to beets. Beets work through a completely different mechanism. They deliver fast-acting support by dramatically boosting nitric oxide levels. As we discussed earlier, nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. But beets hold a unique advantage. They contain the highest natural concentration of dietary nitrates. Your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide quickly, often within hours. This is why athletes use beets to enhance performance and endurance. But for seniors, the effect is even more transformative. Wider vessels mean more blood to your extremities, more oxygen to your muscles, and more clarity in your brain. Many people describe the effect as turning the dimmer switch back up on their energy. Fatty fish and beets are intentionally paired in this system. One improves the fluid, the other improves the flow. Together, they create a dynamic shift in your circulatory health, supporting your heart, your muscles, your skin, and your brain. With blood quality restored and nitric oxide levels rising, your circulation is finally ready for the next step, removing the hidden disruptors that quietly sabotage your progress. Even with the right foods and the right habits, many seniors still struggle to feel the full improvement in their circulation. Their feet remain cold. Their hands still tingle. Their legs still feel heavy at the end of the day. When this happens, it is rarely because the foods failed. It is almost always because hidden disruptors are quietly working against them. The first disruptor is excess sodium, not the salt you sprinkle on food, but the salt buried inside canned soups, packaged meals, deli meats, breads, sauces, and snacks. This hidden sodium pulls water into the spaces around your vessels, increasing pressure and slowing blood flow. The result is ankle swelling, tight calves, and reduced warmth in the extremities. The second disruptor is chronic dehydration. Most older adults simply do not drink enough water because their sense of thirst weakens with age. But blood is nearly half water, and without enough of it, the blood becomes thick and slow. Thick blood cannot move easily through narrow capillaries, and oxygen delivery drops sharply. Many seniors who struggle with dizziness or cold hands are not experiencing a medical emergency. They are experiencing dehydration. The third disruptor is prolonged sitting. When you sit for long periods, circulation to the lower legs slows dramatically. Blood pools. Veins struggle to push it upward. Over time, this leads to swelling, heaviness, and reduced sensation. The fourth disruptor is unmanaged stress. Stress hormones tighten your blood vessels, restricting flow to your hands, feet, and brain. Finally, certain foods like refined carbohydrates, sugary snacks, and processed oils increase blood viscosity and inflammation, making circulation even weaker. Once these disruptors are removed, the foods you eat can finally do their job. Your vessels can open, your blood can move, and your energy can return. You have just discovered 8 powerful foods and the hidden disruptors that determine whether your circulation slows down or comes back to life. But what matters most now is not the science. It is the action you take next. Your body is ready to repair. Your vessels are capable of opening again. Your blood can flow the way it once did. What it needs is consistency and small daily choices that support healing instead of working against it. Start simple. Add 2 or 3 of the circulation-boosting foods to your next meal. Drink a full glass of water before you sit down. Take a short walk after long periods of sitting. These habits may seem small, but together they create powerful momentum. You do not have to accept cold hands, numb feet, swelling, or heavy legs as your new normal. If you want more science-based guidance designed specifically for seniors who want to stay strong, warm, and independent, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments which food you are adding first. Your answer may inspire someone else who has been struggling in silence. Your circulation can improve, your energy can return, and your best years can still be ahead.